in the interest of time, because it is last period, was try to get everything all set up before you came in today. And I tried to be as efficient as possible by, at the stations, giving you something for you to reference, even though there's a link in Google Classroom, and also having these little cards that explain the directions. The reason why the certain stations are not in a grouping is because you're working individually. So it didn't need to necessarily be in a grouping. I just needed you like in the same area of the room, so if you guys had questions on your particular assignment, I could kind of hit all those at the same time. So Station 1 is the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn pre-reading playlist. So basically your job today is to access this slide deck that's posted in Google Classroom. And there are pre-reading questions that you'll click on. Everything's hyperlinked. There's 3 different videos for you to watch. And then there's also a reading to do in Common Lit. So I created a class for our class in Common Lit. So when you go on, what you would do is you would click on like single sign in with Google. And it will bring you there and the reading will come up. That's the station with me. So basically, what I tried to do when I did my groupings, I tried to be a little strategic in my groupings. So I grouped you together. So Albert.io tells us, are we struggling? Are we nearly proficient? Are we proficient? So I tried to put you in groups for that station with people that are scoring similarly. So that when we get together and we work together to set our goals to improve on those AP style multiple choice questions, you know, we're working kind of at the same level, all right? And then what we'll do is we'll sit down, we'll take a look at your responses in Albert.io. I included your responses from the INCOPLUD AP style multiple choice questions. So we'll look at those, and we'll look at the different types of multiple choice questions that are on the AP exam. So we can kind of do a data dig on your results, because like I said, you know, if you take these practice exams and you say, well, it tells me I'm weak or it tells me I'm struggling, and you go, oh well, and you don't do anything about it, you're not going to improve. So what do we need to do? We need to look at the data. We need to look at the different types of multiple choice questions and which questions, which types are you getting wrong. So we're going to look at that and set a goal for ourselves. If the majority of the questions I'm getting wrong are in author's purpose, then I know my goal has to be around author's purpose and improving those questions. All right, so that's why I'm meeting with you guys there. And then the last station is that pre-reading project station. So what I did for today, everyone that's in that station are students that in that interest inventory I gave you said that you prefer to work alone. And what I did was I printed out a worksheet, and again, once you get on the Chromebook, you can access all of this. But I wrote you a little note about what your topic is. And I also am challenging you. On that interest inventory, not only did it ask you which digital tools are you familiar with, it also asked you which digital tools do you want to learn more about. And so the challenge becomes, okay, Allie, you said you'd like to learn more about Prezi and Google Drawings. I'd love for you to accept the challenge and incorporate the use of one of those in your presentation. Okay, so I have the slides copied and pasted right on the document and the rubric as well. So you know what's expected of you for the type of presentation you're doing. I figured we'll start this with our solo acts, because that way it'll give them a little more time because you're working on your own. You don't have that group to kind of carry the load. All right, so that's why you're not placed with groups for the project, right? I strategically did these groups in different ways, all right? So I looked at your results of that interest inventory, I looked at your Albert.io results, and then I made the groupings that way. As you see, this is going, because there's 4 stations, it's gonna take us 4 class periods to get through this. So as you see, as we move through, right, you'll be placed in different groups. So like the next class, when we come in on, we drop Monday, so Tuesday, it will be an actual group of students that are back working together in those desks on their group project. and then those solo students will be dispersed elsewhere. So we're gonna kind of do a little merry-go-round carousel around over the next 4 class periods. There's a lot to get done, so it's not one station every 20 minutes. It's really one station every class period and focus on the task at hand for the period. So are there any questions, comments, concerns? What questions do you have for me? Any? Was that clear? So, okay, so this is what we want to do. You're going to need your Chromebooks. We can take a look at the goal sheet first, but basically what we want to do is we want to go through these different, there are 8 different types of multiple choice questions that you see on the AP language exam. And I took this, I have the link for you, and this is up on Google Classroom, so if you actually want to go and read the blog post, you can later on. But basically I took this from them because I like the way they do this. Not only do they explain what the type of question is in detail, they give you an example. And then they give you kind of like what In Cold Blood does when we went through, you know, this is why this one isn't the answer versus this one. So I think it's a good process to go through and take a look at this. If you notice too, like on that, this page here, it says 44. This is a track in bold, right? So it's giving you like test examples. So, yeah. Which one? Is it the playlist? I mean the questions?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna repost it in Classroom, so if you guys can't access it, you can, I just changed it to anyone with the link can view. See if it'll work. Thank you. Sometimes you forget to put it on. All right. So I like that it does this test taking strategy, so it gives you tips about that specific style of question. All right. So my goal today is to kind of go through this with you, and then you can do a dive into your results. So you can look at the questions that you got wrong and say which type of question this is, and we want to keep a record of that. So if the first question that you got wrong is a reading comprehension question, maybe we put a little hatch mark there, right? The second question you get wrong, it's a reading comprehension question, put another hatch mark. And then we can see which type of question are we getting wrong often. And that's the one that we want to use to revolve our goal around, right? Because if that's the type of question you're getting wrong the most, that's the one we want to improve on first. And then we can go from there. So I built Tuesdays around AP side practice. But if you keep taking Albert I know, if you keep struggling, and you keep saying you're struggling and you're getting frustrated and you're not getting your assignment, right? So the goal is, let's think about, you know, my number 1 goal is to improve on reading comprehension questions. How will I know if I've reached my goal? My score on reading comprehension questions will go up, right? Pretty simple, straightforward. And then we want to think about action steps. What action steps that we take? And I can help you with that. Because what I can do is I can see there's a bunch of different platforms other than Albert I.O. that can help with these things. And I can move things up by standard. So if it is, we're talking about interpretation of imagery and figurative language, if I know that that's your goal to improve on those questions, I can specifically on a Tuesday, when I set time aside, assign you those questions. But they can maybe struggling in rhetorical strategy. On Tuesdays, he won't work on what you're working on. We'll work on something that's focusing on rhetorical strategy. Does that make sense? And then we can reassess in a couple of weeks and see where we are. And I'm also going to give you for Fin the same type of improve between the beginning of the year and then after the practice. So that's another way when we talk about how will I know I reach my goal, we'll have data to support that. So does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. Okay, alright, so let's take a look. And then I'll turn you guys loose so you can actually get your computers going to Albert.io, look at the questions you got wrong, and figure out which type. So reading comprehension. It says, as you might expect, reading comprehension questions are testing if you understood the passage on a concrete level. And what's going to help you with that, if that's an area where you're struggling, is doing these dialectical journals. Because really, the dialectical lesson says Dale was old and sick. And so the kid goes, well, isn't this the option? Isn't this the answer? And I said, well, Beowulf is old, you're right, and that plays into why he didn't succeed. I said, but did we read anything about Beowulf being sick? No, we didn't. So again, when you're looking closely at what the options are, that's how you know it. Alright? And then they give you an example there. So questions on reading comprehension? We got that one down, right? We know if we have a problem, what we can do. Alright. Implication. So this question moves beyond basic concrete reading comprehension. Right? So this is what the author is saying without actually coming up and saying what is implied by perhaps their tone, or the connotations of the words they use, the word choice, and so on. Okay? So the question, the answer may not be written out clearly in the passage, but the question will still have a clear, correct answer based on the textual evidence. You can identify implication questions with the phrases best supported, so you want to underline those, implies, suggests, and inferred. So those are the buzzwords we look for. And I'm going to sit here too, so if you guys, I'll leave a lap so when you get started, but if you have questions, I'll help you figure these out, alright? We're just looking at the ones we got wrong when we go through these, okay? Ready? And say, hey, if I got these two wrong on this page, maybe you can divide and conquer to some more ones that you got wrong, okay? Alright, I'll be back.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For the pre-reading, I clicked this, but it gave me like her work.
It's not a copy.
Yeah, it said make a copy, so I made a copy, but it gives me her work.
So this is your copy?
No, that's hers.
Oh, I think what happened is you shared it with her, so whenever she's editing it, when you make a copy, it's also added.
Because it's supposed to make a copy for each student, so I don't know
It's
how.
making the copy of the
Right,
primary
so but
document.
you made a copy of what was originally there, right? And this was there? So you can delete this and name this your name.
Because when I clicked it, it said, so I clicked this, and then it said make a copy, so I clicked that.
Yes, so it was, I designed it to make a copy, but what happened was she couldn't access it. So I shared it with her, so then she started writing, so it's gonna ask you to make a copy of what she already wrote.
Oh, and I
Because
can
she's,
delete
yeah,
it.
you can delete it, because
Okay.
she's having problems with her Google Classroom, she can't access anything for some reason. So just delete it. And
Alright.
I apologize for that, I don't know what
It's
that
okay, I was
glitch is.
confused, I was like,
No, I'm gonna have to contact someone about that, because that can't continue to happen for the next year and 3/4 for high school.
Yeah.
Questions for me? No? You're good? This all made sense, right? Yes. Okay, and you don't have to take the challenge, but I thought, if I'm